Hi, and welcome to the Las Vegas Advisor monthly update for the month of April. Today is Friday, April 4th in the year 2025, and we have some updates on our show format. I'm going to kick it over to Anthony.
Well, pretty much this, we're sticking with what we said we are going to do.
Yep.
Once a month we do the updates. Next week we'll do jackpots. Then we'll have a guest. Then we'll have Beer Friday. But what I wanted to bring up, or what we wanted to bring up, is what we're doing with the shorts, right? The shorts are you can explain that better than me.
The shorts are both on YouTube and Instagram, and the shorts are also promoting some of the coolest coupons in the book, and also some things that you can see around Vegas. So there's a variety of shorts that are coming out, and we're pretty excited about it. I think it's going to help grow the channel.
Well, yeah, it's not just from us. That's what's interesting, is that we're working with other people now who are, they're kind of grabbing snippets from all of these shows that we've done and they're going through them, they're taking some of the best ones and saying, all right, here's some good information, boom, giving it to you in a 15 or 20 second format.
Yeah, less than a minute.
And I like the one you just did, which was, you went to the Welcome to Las Vegas sign.
Yeah, the original.
7 in the morning.
7 o'clock a.m.
And the reason why?
The reason why you go at 7 a.m. is because there's no line. There's virtually no line. I mean, there's just a few people. They walk up, they take some quick pics, and the sun has just risen, so you got that nice morning light. Yeah.
So how do they find them? Do they go to our channel and just look for them there, or do they pop up, or how does it work?
Yeah, if you go to the Las Vegas Advisor YouTube channel, they're listed under Shorts, and if you're already a subscriber, they should be showing up in your Shorts feed naturally.
They're going to show up in your shorts.
Yeah. Don't let it show up in your shorts.
All right.
And then moving on to the center of the strip, right there on Flamingo and Las Vegas Boulevard, you have the Cromwell, which has announced they're going to be changing their name.
Right. They're going to go from one dumb name, the Cromwell, to another dumb name, Vanderpump Hotel.
The Vanderpump Hotel. That's right.
Which is named for Lisa Vanderpump.
Right, and there's a few Vanderpumps, right? There's Lisa Vanderpump, and then it's a whole family.
Oh,
right?
Yeah, I think they're like the what's the other
Kardashians.
one? The Kardashians and the Jenners and all of that. So she's a socialite TV personality.
That's right.
Not my cup of tea. I don't watch that. I think there's a Vanderpump Tea Garden somewhere or something. But she's quite the entrepreneur, and working with the Caesars properties. Right, she's got places at Caesar's Palace, at Paris, at Flamingo, Harvey's Lake Tahoe, right? And now she's going to have a whole,
hotel.
Hotel named after her, casino hotel.
Well, I got to tell you, she must be so super popular because Caesars has been. I think there was a Vanderpump in 2017, and it came at Caesar's Palace, and then they just started having more Vanderpump this and Vanderpump that, and
they're Vanderpumping her up.
They are right. They're Vanderpumping her everywhere.
But you were, all right. So, but we're talking about Caesars.
Yeah.
And you were telling me a story the other day. I mean, Caesars is no bargain. Especially when you go to a Vanderpump place or something like that. The prices are going to be sky high.
They are.
A lot of these places don't even have video poker at these Vanderpump bars.
That's right.
And even if they did...
They're classy and they're cool looking, but yeah, it's tough. It's expensive. And then especially when I was at Planet Hollywood the other day, which is a Caesars property, I was at the Glass Bar. It was very hard to get comp drinks.
Yeah, that's Caesar's MO.
Yeah.
I mean, they're just real tough. I mean... You put money in, you played, they said no, right?
Yeah, they said, well, you're not playing fast enough. And I said, well, is the light green? He said, yeah, well, you're not playing fast enough. And
that was the answer. You're not playing fast enough.
And as he walked away, as the bartender walked away, the guy next to me goes, you know what? They wouldn't comp my drinks either. I've been playing here for 20 minutes and I'm down $100.
I'll tell you, I think of all of them, I think Caesars is the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, it's at least at Wynn. It's similar at Wynn that they don't comp. The only place they'll comp at Wynn is at the sportsbook bar. But the other places, they won't comp for video poker. But at least that's a policy. They say so.
Yeah.
I mean, for a guy to tell you that, you're playing, what'd you put in, $20?
I put in 40.
Put in 40.
Because I know not to put in 20.
Right. So you put in $40, you're playing, you're having a conversation with somebody, and they go, you're not playing fast enough.
Yeah.
I'd go, watch how fast I leave this bar.
Well, yeah.
Watch how fast I leave this hotel. Watch how fast I leave this company.
We left a tip, and we left the bar.
You left a tip?
Yeah, okay. I did. We left a tip. I was a class act. Left a tip and left the bar.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All right. So back to Vanderpump. This is like one of the only casinos I can think of that has. This will be the fourth name for this casino.
That's right. Yeah.
Started as Barbary Coast.
I remember in the 90s.
Right. Well before that, man. Went to Bill's Gambling Saloon.
Okay.
Then the Cromwell, then Vanderpump.
Okay.
And to all of us, it'll always be the Barbary Coast.
So here at the Las Vegas Advisor, we do things a little bit differently. We do a little bit different type of research here. And yearly, for the last 34 years, we do a show price survey. So Anthony, what do you got on the show prices?
Yeah, well, that's, first what you just said, we're the only ones that do this.
Yeah.
For 34 years, we go out and we take a collective of all of the ticket prices. Mm-hmm. Then those that, now they're all arranged, so we get an average, and we get an average show price. And it kind of like speaks to what the economy is like in Las Vegas. When you see prices going up. When we started, the average show price was in the 20s. Mm-hmm. And now this one, we just did it. We did 80 different casinos. It came out to $103.22.
Right.
Is the average show price.
Yeah.
So, it's funny. Like, we don't really want to do it because it's a lot of work, and it's like doesn't really accrue to anything, except that nobody else in the world does this. Mm-hmm. And we've done it for 34 years now. So we did it again. So I'll give you some prices. And the best part of this is going to be afterwards, after I reel off a couple of these, we'll talk about. We also get to look and see where the bargains are.
Yeah, give us the highlights. Let us know what's happening in town. Now, I remember when we did this like 4 years ago, and it was like the prices had just crossed over the $100 barrier on average for the first time.
And they're staying there. Like I said, $103.22. That's actually down $1.50 from last year.
Okay.
All right, so it was a $1.50 higher was the average. And in all of these 33 comparisons and 34 times, that's only the 8th time it's gone down.
Okay.
All right. So that's a little something. Also, shows with a ticket price of $100 or more. That was down from 48 last year to 40 this year.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. The highest average was O at Bellagio.
Sure.
The average ticket price to see O, $272.54.
It's a classic. It's never going anywhere. It's people come from all over the world to see O.
Yep. And the lowest ticket, and this will show you, we don't just look at casinos. We look at everywhere where there's legitimate entertainment. Mm-hmm. The lowest ticket in all of Vegas, the Two Wise Guys comedy clubs.
Hey, cool. We love Wise Guys.
$12.
They're great clubs.
$12.
Yeah.
And this is all of these numbers I'm giving you now that I'm going to give you is with tax. It's after tax. And here's an interesting one. This year, for the first time, we included the Sphere.
Okay.
And we put a kind of a compilation of prices there. The Eagles, Dead and Company, and Kenny Chesney.
Okay.
Because somebody's always playing every week. We did an average of all of that. The average price for a ticket at the Sphere, $597.22.
Yikes, that kicks up the average.
Yeah, biggest among them, the Eagles. Average price for the Eagles, $951.44.
My goodness.
Isn't that amazing?
Well, you got 17,500 seats at the Sphere, so.
They're making a little bit of money there. They're also spending money. Like I said, the interesting thing about this is that we also see the low end. Like everybody's like, wow, listen to those prices. Look how high they went. But we got a list of like the best deals on the low end.
All right, let's talk
about it. So we'll rip off a few of them here. I already said Wise Guys and Nathan Burton. Popovich Comedy Pet Theater at Planet Hollywood, $30.
Okay.
Ticket. That's with tax. Gordy Brown at Golden Nugget, $37. The Magic of Jen Kramer at Westgate, $40. Mm-hmm. Misbehaves Mavericks at Plaza, $42. Comedy Cellar at the Rio, $45. LA Comedy Club, one of your favorites, at the Strat, $49.
Great comedy club.
That's their ticket price.
Yeah.
So for two, you're under $100. Fantasy at Luxor, $52. Mac King Comedy Magic at Excalibur, $53. Miracle Mile Shops, now skip those real quick. Jabberwockies, pretty big show. MGM Grand, $60.
Yeah, they were on America's Got Talent, and people love them.
This one surprised me. Blue Man Group at Luxor, $62.
That's a great deal because it's an old classic. It's a family favorite. Yeah. The Blue Man Group's fantastic.
Carrot Top at Luxor, $63.
I keep hearing he's funnier than ever.
He's very funny. He's good.
Yeah.
Illuminate, great show at the Strat, $67. Tape Face at MGM Grand, $67.
People love Tape Face.
Yeah. So, there's a bunch of shows right there. Replay this. If you want to see a show in Vegas, go to one of these. Mm-hmm. They would call these second or third tier shows. They aren't all. Illuminate's a great show. Blue Man Group is like an A-list show forever.
Yeah.
Right up there with the Cirque shows. So, go back through. These are where you get your value. Now, best of all. Mm-hmm. For that, we use the member rewards value.
You include the coupon book.
Yeah. For that, we use a member rewards coupon. Mm-hmm. All right, so it came down to Magic of Jen Kramer at Westgate or Misbehaves Mavericks at Plaza. Jen Kramer, $40.11 for 2 tickets.
Okay, that's a good deal.
Okay, because it's what it is. Basically, that's the price. The lowest you can get in is $40.11, but it's a BOGO.
Right.
So you get 2 tickets for that. 40.11 and Misbehave was $42.51. So the Plaza show was like a couple bucks more. However, Westgate, you now have to pay $10 for parking.
That's right. This is new news at the Westgate with their parking.
And for Misbehave, you have to pay for parking also at the Plaza, but they'll validate when you go to the show.
Okay.
All right, so that means Misbehave was $42.51. The Kramer show was $50.11. So Misbehave at the Plaza is really, with an LVA coupon, the BOGO, is your best deal. 2 tickets for $42.
Right, the buy one, get one. And then the other thing, I just have to say that the Sand Dollar at the Plaza is so cool, and that's another way to get your parking comped. Go into the Sand Dollar, play there,
Right.
Get some gambling. They got a great bar, great drinks, great bartender.
Well, it gets even better when you're talking about Misbehave at the Plaza because they've got so many things in the member rewards book. You can literally eat there at the pizza place or Mexican.
Pop-up pizza.
There's BOGOs. There's the 2 for drinks, like you were just talking about. There's at the outside bar carousel. There's a couple of gambling coupons in there. I mean, you can make a full night of it.
Yeah, and don't forget one of their really classy joints, the Oscars Steakhouse, where you got the happy hour 7 days a week from 5 to 7.
Plaza's a good place, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Plaza, that's Jonathan Jossel.
Yeah.
He runs it down there. And we're going to get Jonathan on the show.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he told me he would do it, and we were going to get him on the show. I've done his show. And I mean, this is something really, one of the best Vegas podcasts you'll find. It's called On the Corner of Main Street. Look this up. On the Corner of Main Street. He's had some really great guests, including some LVA people. He's had me, he's had Gene Scott, he's had, I think a couple of our other authors. But he gets some good stuff on there. So we'll get Jonathan on and check his out.
And one quick tip, if you are new to the Las Vegas Advisor and you are getting a member rewards book for the first time, you can use the coupon code Andrew for a $5 discount off your member rewards. What do you think about that, Anthony?
That's okay. You can tell him.
We're giving out good deals here.
You can tell him. It's all right.
So we do also have some buffet news, and it is not good. What do we got, Anthony?
We're down to 12.
Yikes.
I mean, like it's when they started opening up, there were 7, 8, 10. I was like, we'll get to 20 pretty soon. We got to 13.
Yeah.
And it stopped right there. Boom. All done. We're down to 12. LUXOR has closed its buffet.
Now, I didn't even know LUXOR had a buffet, so it's not like they really were advertising it very much.
Yeah, maybe that's why they closed it. But I mean, it's, there's 2 of them there. There's LUXOR and then there's Excalibur.
Right.
And both buffets are open. A lot of people have asked, well, is Excalibur going to close next? I don't think so. I think that's why it was either Excalibur or LUXOR.
Right, one or the other.
Owned by the same company, Caesars again. So no more. What's interesting, though, when we're talking about buffets coming back, Vegas had about 40-some buffets, down to 12, kind of like 30% reopened. When you go to something like Biloxi, they had 12, and 8 of them have reopened. So they're 67%, twice as much as Vegas.
Okay.
Vegas is just anti-buffet, man. And, and LUXOR was a mid-level one. So that's one of the slightly cheaper ones that's now gone.
Well, the buffet used to be kind of like a loss leader to get people into the casino. And now it probably seems like it's really, a waste of food at some point.
No, I don't think it's a waste of food. They think they're wasting space. They're not making enough money on the buffet. Even if it's not a loss leader, they're just not making enough money. They're turning them into food courts, food halls, where they're getting paid, licensing fees, and they're making more money that way. Gee, surprising.
Makes sense. Since those blackjack tournaments at the Downtown Grand stopped probably over a year ago, people have been writing us all the time saying, where's the blackjack tournament? Do you guys know what's going on? And now there finally is a new blackjack tournament that's been announced in town, and it's at the STRAT, Anthony.
Yes, at least for a month.
Okay.
All right. So in the month of April, the STRAT is going to have on Tuesdays. Started this week. I didn't go because we were finishing LVA and all, but I will this following Tuesday. It's $25 to enter.
Okay.
Just like it was downtown. There's $1,000 in free play for first place.
Great prize.
I don't know about the rest of it. The registration, they say, is from 2 to 5. So it sounds like you can get there, in the afternoon, and then they play it in the evenings. But I just love seeing it. I mean, when they had it at the Downtown Grand, it was almost like an LVA meeting place. There were so many that came down.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so I'll be there next Tuesday.
Okay.
And, hopefully people will come down and support this thing. I'd love to see it keep going.
Yeah, I'll be there too. Can't win if you don't play. So after the Blackjack tournament at the Strat this coming Tuesday, Anthony, you think you're going to go to the Hard Hat Lounge after for a smash burger?
Ooh, good transition, Andrew.
Working on them.
Yeah, right behind. All right, so we're talking about the Hard Hat Lounge.
Right.
It's on Industrial Avenue behind the Strat. All right, this is they say it's the oldest dive bar in Vegas.
Okay.
It's been running continuously continuously, I should say, since 1958.
There you go.
Either as a restaurant or a bar. It's gone through a whole bunch of different incarnations.
Yes, it has.
It's famous for the mural in the background, right? Which I think we've got up on the screen.
Okay.
And it's that awesome mural has been there through every one of the revamps of this thing. They've got we talk about finding burgers for under $10. They got a $9 smash burger, which is about the messiest burger I've ever eaten. But it's terrific. It comes with onions and pickles and all this stuff. And you get to see this Hard Hat Lounge, which is an iconic dive bar in Vegas.
And they have video poker, Anthony. And they comp your drinks if you're gambling.
And there's, like you said, earlier we were talking, they have outside dining.
Yeah, they have an indoor-outdoor patio. They got free parking. You don't want to walk there from the Strat, right? Because you kind of got to walk through Naked City right there. It's a little bit of a rough spot.
I'd be careful on that. I'd definitely get in the car and drive over. But this is a pretty cool place. And they got a 20 for 20 sign-up bonus.
Okay.
So, I mean, you can go there. Think of it like this. You go there, you see this iconic bar in Vegas, oldest dive bar in town. You put in 20, you get another 20, you get a $9 burger, you get a free beer for your comp.
Yeah.
So you get a bigger burger and a beer, and you're probably going to walk out of there with more money than you walked in with.
And it's open 24/7, so you can do this at any time.
Except the burgers are served, I think, noon to 3 in the morning.
Okay, makes sense. This coming Sunday, March Madness comes to an end, Anthony. It's the Final Four. You got the lines for us?
I do. Most people know this already, but all the number one seeds made the Final Four.
Okay.
So there's four, in the bracket, there's four regions, and the number one seeds, the second time it's ever happened, I believe. So anyway, the big favorite is Duke.
Right, and you're happy about that. You went to Duke.
I went to Duke, but that doesn't make me happy because I did bet on them. I do have a bet on Duke, not because I went there, but because I thought they were that good, and they are.
Okay.
So it's minus 125 to win the whole thing. So it's to advance out of the semifinals to the final on Monday and to win the final. Second is Florida, plus 220.
Okay.
All right, which is quite a ways behind. Third is Houston, plus 500.
Okay.
5-1. And the dog is the team that's been number one for most of the year. Auburn is plus 600.
Okay. Wow. Okay. So are you going to bet the dog? You're going to bet Houston like Mattress Mac? Or are you going to what are you thinking?
I don't know. It's hard to go against Duke. Duke's looking pretty darn complete. But if you're going to bet, just so you know, the best betting deal in town right now is minus 105 instead of minus 110. And that's at, begrudgingly, I will say, the South Point.
I knew you were going to say South Point because they always seem to do that.
Yeah, South Point, I've said this again and again. They don't work with us. It makes me mad, but they're a great casino.
All right, and here's a casino that does work with Las Vegas Advisor. We love them. They've upgraded their rooms, and now the Rio has upgraded their video poker schedules. Anthony, what have you found at the Rio?
They're upgrading a lot at the Rio. The Rio's doing a really good job there, sprucing up and cleaning up. Let's just step back a little bit. We've been saying on the show for quite a while, there are two places that they're similar in that they are not on the Strip, but they're big, and they need local following. Rio is one of them. The other is Virgin.
Okay.
All right. Now, Virgin has done a few things. They've got a new slot club, and it looks like they might be trying, but they're not doing anything like the Rio. The Rio's sprucing up all over the place, but what they've done with video poker, they made the move that they need to do to get the locals in.
Good.
All right. So here's what they've got at the Rio. Formerly, the best game they had there was 8-5 bonus poker.
Okay.
Which is a good game.
It's a great game.
99.17, but only in $1 and up. Now, here are the games that they now have. 9-6 jacks or better. That's 99.54%. I already mentioned the 8-5 bonus poker, 99.17. Deuces Wild bonus, 99.45.
Wow.
Deuces Wild aces and faces, 99.24%.
Interesting. I never play that one.
In denoms from 5 cents to $50 on the floor and at the bar.
That's so interesting, Anthony, because you've said for a long time that you could take the average hands per hour played and the denom and kind of figure out what your losses, what your hourly loss is going to be.
And it doesn't matter whether you're a great player or a beginner. If you're playing better games, you're going to win more or lose less.
Right.
Just because the drain from the casino edge isn't as steep. They've gone whole hog here, man. Going 9-6 jacks or better. That's one of the easiest games to play. That's the one everyone looks for. It's called full pay jacks. And like I said, all the way from 5 cents and up. And I think that's on the 9-6. I don't have it in front of me, but I know that versions of all these games I just said start at a nickel. So terrific, good for them. Not only that, it gets even better. All right, when you sign up for the player's card there, it's funny, the casino bonuses for sign-ups usually aren't as good as the bars. And in this case, the real, you get $8 in free play.
Okay.
Where the $8 came from, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a little weird, but that's
okay.
okay.
$8 in free play, unless you're an LVA member.
Then what is it?
Then it's $25.
That's a great deal.
All right. Now, this is for April only. It's a special they're doing with us. You'd have to do it in April, and you have until May 15th to redeem it. Unfortunately, it's for new members to the slot club, which we don't normally do that, but this is a one-off. It's not something we put in the member rewards book, and it's a new member thing. But if you haven't done it at the Rio before and you haven't joined them, now is a perfect time to do it.
Okay, so what you're saying, Anthony, is that if you are a new member, it's a great time to be a new member because you get a little bit extra incentive. And
and this is to the club. So people who have been longtime LVA members but have not signed up for the new club at the Rio can go do this.
Fun.
All right, so we figured it's going to be open to most of our members. Now, it gets even better than that. We have the $3 membership, $3 a month, and that comes with everything except the big coupon book and the other coupons that we do online, except for this. The $3 members are also going to get $15 instead of $8.
Okay.
All right. And you can tell, like if you're a $3 member, we call it Diamond. All right. We have Platinum and Diamond. Platinum is the $50 membership. Diamond is the $3 membership. If you're a $3, you can't, do the Platinum one. So you'll see which one you can do. I'm telling everybody out there, you can't do both. Some of our Platinum members are downloading both. They're not going to let you do both. So don't try that. But Platinum members, you're going to get 25. Diamond members are going to get 15. And think about this, Andrew. You can become a Diamond member for $3. You can join for 1 month for $3 and get 15 at the Rio.
There you go. That's the way to play it. I mean, it could be.
It's actually a hack for anyone who's coming to Vegas.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend the $50. You don't care about the coupon book, but you want our information. You just do 1 month for $3 because it opens up everything. All the archives, the current newsletter, back newsletters, all the questions of the days, everything. You plan your trip. You see the things you want. You read the blogs. And in this case, you get $15, and you're out of it.
I think that's too much value. You're not supposed to give them that much value, Anthony.
Well, I don't know. We think it's a great deal, and we think that once they try us, they're gonna stick with us.
I think so too. And in this episode's question of the month, where were the filming locations for the Las Vegas scenes in ANORA?
ANORA. Do you know what ANORA is?
Yeah, it's the movie. I didn't see the movie, but I heard the Oscar nominations, and I hope I'm saying it right.
Yeah, ANORA. I believe that's how it's pronounced. It won Best Picture.
Yeah.
This year. I mean, it was an indie production. One Best Picture, one Best Actress. And the story is, I haven't seen it, but the story is that somebody, I guess it starts in New York.
Okay.
And somebody in the sex industry, a stripper or something like that, meets the son of a Russian oligarch of some sort. They get together, they strike it up together, and they end up coming to Vegas to get married. So there were a whole bunch of shots in Vegas that were done. All right, so here's where the scenes were shot. The couple was married at the Little White Chapel.
Okay.
And the real head minister, Diana Moran, plays herself in the movie as the wedding officiant.
Cool.
All right. A bunch of shots were done on Fremont Street Experience.
Very cool.
And the casino scenes were all done at the Palms.
Oh, nice. The Palms.
Yeah.
Working with Hollywood. We love it.
Yeah. And I mean, they're talking about bringing Hollywood here, 2.0 and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But, there's been such a rich history of movies that have been shot here. And that's one of the reasons we took this. We wanted to go through a couple of them. For example,
Yes.
Ocean's 11. Where was it shot?
I know there was the very famous scene in Ocean's 11 in front of the Bellagio fountains.
Correct.
Yeah.
Bellagio, and there were inside areas around the Bellagio. All right. Did you ever see Electric Horseman?
No, I don't think I've ever seen it.
Okay, Electric Horseman, Robert Redford. This is an older one.
Mm-hmm.
This was shot in and all around Caesars.
Oh, wow. Okay. What is this, like in the 70s?
I believe it was, yeah.
Okay.
70s or 80s, early 80s maybe.
Okay.
And this was Robert Redford, who was an old motorcycle. He was an old rodeo guy.
Uh-huh.
And Jane Fonda was a reporter.
Okay.
And they were doping up his horse, and he didn't like it. And they had him all dressed up, as an electric, because he was doing advertising for them. And he rides the horse through Caesar's Palace and out onto the Strip and into the desert.
Another movie with Caesar's Palace. Okay.
Great. Okay, how about this one? You ever see 3,000 Miles to Graceland?
Yes, I did with the Elvis's the opening
Yes.
sequence with the Elvises jumping out of the plane. Yeah.
Kevin Costner, one of my favorite movies about Vegas.
That was a good one.
Do you know where that was shot?
It seems like in my mind it was shot all over Vegas. I'm not sure.
It was shot specifically in one place where they were having, I think, that big Elvis convention. That was the Riviera.
Oh wow, the Riv. Okay.
And you know what's
cool?
What's cool about all these that we're going to say, you can go onto YouTube now and you can find these. And
Yeah.
you can look at these. So you would go and say, all right, let me go look at the 3,000 Miles to Graceland shootout.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where they had it in the Riviera. It was really good. All right, here we're going to get more and more kind of out there now. What about Mars Attacks?
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. I saw the movie, but I don't remember.
That was a long time ago.
Yeah.
That incorporated the landmark.
Okay.
And it was you don't even know what the
No,
landmark was.
no.
Landmark was one of the first, if not the first one, to be imploded.
Yeah, I think I've seen pictures of
And
it.
they used the implosion of the landmark in Mars Attacks.
Cool.
So the Martians were coming down and shooting, and they shot down the landmark, and they used it in the movie.
Oh, that's cool.
All right, so along those lines, and now this is maybe the best of all, and we didn't even bring up things like Casino and other ones there.
Right. Where Oscar Goodman was the only character to play himself in the movie.
And a lot of others who you knew who they were.
Yeah.
And how about Con Air?
Oh yeah, that's a great movie. I love that one in the 90s.
Well, here was the greatest thing about Con Air, Nicolas Cage, right?
Yeah, Nick Cage.
And another Nicolas Cage we didn't say is Leaving Las Vegas. Right?
One of my favorite, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, what a fun Vegas movie. And by the way, Nick Cage lives here in Vegas.
He does. I've never seen him.
I haven't either, but I want to.
Well, here's the thing about Con Air.
Yeah.
This is the best part of Con Air. They land the plane on the Strip, and similar to what they did with Mars Attacks and the Landmark, they did this. The Sands was getting ready to be imploded. So the plane comes down the Strip and then runs into the Sands.
Okay.
And that was part of the implosion of the Sands. I mean, the demolition of the Sands
Oh, wow.
was in this movie. But what's great about this, when you go back and watch this, let's say on YouTube, is as the plane's coming down, they're showing scenes of Vegas, and it's absolutely impossible what they're doing because they're cutting in all non-sequential ways.
Sure.
So first thing, they're downtown, and then they're at they're somewhere on the Strip, and then all of a sudden they're going through the guitar at Hard Rock.
Okay.
And then they're downtown again. They're all showing this, right? And then finally they land and they run into the Sands.
So I'm going to have to rewatch that now, knowing Vegas geography a bit better.
Yeah, if you're a person who knows Vegas, you want to watch that scene, and you're going to go, no way, no way. You're going to absolutely see what's going on. No,
That's
they
funny.
figured nobody's going to know the difference, and they cut it the way it looked good, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So-
So we'll have to do that.
Yeah.
All right. So a lot of Vegas. I always think Vegas is one of the sexiest backdrops for any movie.
There's going to be a lot. There have been so many of them. You know what? Maybe
Yeah.
we'll do this on a Beer Friday. We'll name a bunch of them and see who can come up with the where the location was first.
That actually sounds really cool. I was going to ask you where is this? Like I know the Stardust is now Resorts World, but where's this? What's at the stands now?
Oh, Sands?
Yeah.
Well, Sands is Venetian.
The Venetian.
Yeah,
Okay.
Venetian is where the Sands was.
Right. Of course.
Right
Okay.
in that
Las
corner.
Vegas Sands owns the
Sands
Venetian.
Corporation, yeah.
Perfect. That makes sense. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly love learning along with you guys. Thank you for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Remember to go ahead and check those shorts on the Las Vegas Advisor YouTube channel. Remember to go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you don't know what to say in the comments, just leave the word jackpot. It helps us grow. It helps the algorithm. Anything to add, Anthony?
Yeah, two things. One is if you're going to sign up for any of these, for LVA, for any of these things we've talked about, use the code Andrew and get your discount. Second is next week we're doing the Jackpot Show. We got some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. Keep sending in your jackpots, guys. We're going to try to do more jackpots in each episode. And that's it for this episode. We'll see you next week.
I'm going to